Hey guys, this is Matt with Forex Successful Traders. I'm going to do a quick video here on market cycles and how you can recognize these and hopefully take advantage of them um, while you're trading. So here you have your basic downtrend formed that's characterized by lower lows and lower highs. And you can see on its way down, it did have a lot of support and resistance going on here. What was support became resistance. And that happened a few times on its way down. And then down here we have it broke support, held it as resistance, and then broke back above it. So that would be our false breakout. That's usually signaling a reversal. So you can see here that we did break our downtrend. And from here you can either get a retracement, up into this area, or you can end up getting into a range like we did here. And this was where our first resistance was set, right here, and then we had our support at our first level here. And we played this range for quite a while. It's a rather big range, about 200 points. And after we broke the range, one would anticipate a higher move. And this one really just stayed in the even smaller range, used this prior resistance here as support. And then once we came back in it, that's usually a sign of a reversal and a continuation. As you can see here, this is what set our trend line here. We held support for a little bit, and then we finally broke out and continued our downtrend. So let's move on to the next one, and this is trends within trends. So you can see here, price started up. We got our first trend line set right here, trend line number 1. And we kind of played along this until we finally broke it. And you can see that when we broke it, came back up, tested it as resistance, and we came down into this area here. Now this area, of course you wouldn't have had this trend line in, we weren't set yet, but you did have this prior resistance level here and this support level. So price did bounce off of this. This allowed you to set this trend line here. And within this, we kind of came up and we formed a little trend within a trend. So you could also draw this trend line in here and kind of play it as a channel almost. You can see we came up, we tested the back side of this, came down back to it, and ultimately the top of this move was our first trend line here. And we came down, broke through this one, and used this trend line here, the longer trend line that was set off of this one, and so on. So another little market cycle that you can watch out for and hopefully pick up in your trading. And then now we have channels, and this is basically just a trend, whether it be up or down, trend line formed, and then you can also draw one on the top side or the bottom side. I like to use support and resistance in my channels to kind of give me entries if I'm going to take them, or I can see when the channel is maybe dying out. But basically this prior resistance was broken and it was respected on the move back up as support. And it was also right here next to our upward trend line. And we moved up through this level here. You can see we had a lot of price action at our resistance line. We came back down and tested this prior resistance here, used it as support, and we were also here at our upward trend line, and we continued to move forward. We can see now we're getting kind of heavy. Price is not wanting to push higher as strong as it was back here. So this is something where we may look for some reversals. Alright, so now we're going to talk a little bit about Fibonacci. I usually go from the low or a strong candle if there is one. So in this case I went from the strong candle, and I took it from the strong candle down here up to the highs right here. And I kind of made this pretty visually easy to see for you guys where our price bounced from. You can see here we came down, we tested the 23.6 and had a couple nice bounces off of that. It finally broke through it and tested this fib and went right back up to where we had prior support and used this as resistance. And we kind of whipsawed around through this range for a while, working our way down to the 50%, which gave it some really nice bounces right up into this area here that's been really pivotal. And from there, we just came straight down. The 61.8 we didn't get very much of a bounce off of, but the 76.4 gave us a nice bounce up to use the 61.8 as resistance. And we kind of played around in this area for a while before working our way back above it and continuing on with this trend. And so we'll also take a look at an example to the downside. And this one I included the 4-hour here so we can kind of see what it looks like on a longer term. Basically, I set my fib here from the high to the low. And you can see the bounce here. We kind of hung around the 23.6 for a while. We got in a big range, and there it was used. And once we worked above it, we used it again here for a nice bounce. And as soon as we got back above, we used the 50% here for a really nice bounce. And as you can see, if you look over on the 4-hour, this is the same chart. You can see that our 50% here, right here, and here, was also the reversal point, and that's usually what happens in most cases. The 50% and the 61.8 are really good reversal points, or basically where your trend will continue. Okay, so I hope this helps out with your trading and helps you recognize more of what cycle the market is in. You know, these aren't the strategies that I use to trade. I look at these and I make assumptions based upon what cycle the market is in. But if you guys would like to come in and check out some of the strategies that we actually trade, we're actually really short-term traders. So we do hang on for some of these moves, but most of the time we're in and out within minutes. It's also known as scalping. This is basically a little preview of our room, and you have access to professional traders. Other like-minded traders are also in the room, and we'll be calling out trades and live commentary. And you can also check out our proprietary trading software here. So guys, if this interests you, go ahead and click on the video here or click on my links down below, and we'll see you in the room. Alright guys, take care.